guys, welcome to the Jadon Talk Show. I'm here with Jordan Craig, and we are talking about some of the interesting jobs he is doing now, or has done, from helping schools by taking photos with drones. I know it sounds weird, but you will understand. And lots of other stuff like that. He's a photographer, a videographer, and an owner and operator of a company called Jordan Craig Media, which obviously takes photos and does videos.
My main job is as a photographer, videographer, video producer.
So what jobs branch off of that?
So being a photographer and videographer, there are many sub jobs or tasks that happen. So I'm a freelance producer and production house, Jordan Craig Media. And so what we do, it branches for everything from wedding and portrait photography to wedding films. And then some other things we do as well is drone services, real estate videos, real estate photography, as well as commercial video and photography for businesses who need photography for their website or social media management. So really I like to think of photography as a contact zone where people might start off thinking they need photography, but once we talk to them and identify what their needs are, it might just be the photos, or there might be other things that they need that kind of touch or come into contact with the photography that they're requesting.
Cool. Do you enjoy your main job or the other jobs more?
There tend to be a lot of similarities because people or organizations in the community might hear of me or services I provided to a client within my main role. And when they come to me, there's one large project that I like to take on every year as a way of giving back to the community. And it's, not expecting anything in return, but it's just a way of being grateful for the community in New York where we live and being able to give back. And then throughout the year, there are other more short-term or smaller projects that come up. The main difference there is the atmosphere tends to be a little more laid back, but I'm thinking in particular with the Saranac Lake School District and flying drones, capturing some photography of their football and recreation fields. So the purpose of that project was to help the school understand how many outdoor classrooms they can build that are going to be up to the regulations because of COVID. So that's something that it isn't a core part of the business that I operate or the clients we serve, but it's something where you can see easily the skill set of being able to fly a drone and do work within photography. It makes a lot of sense to be able to come in and do that. And that was a really fun project of just working with the school administration. And I partnered with another drone operator here in the area. And it ended up being just a really fun afternoon of flying, and then brought the imagery home, processed it, and we were able to deliver the initial map to them. So it's wonderful to have the time to be able to give back with some of those side projects.
You mentioned you were in New York. So would you say if you moved to Washington, D.C., let's just say a random place, would you think you would get more or less people with your drone photography, videography business?
That's a great question, Jadon. In the world of photography and video services in particular, I think there's just as much opportunity, whether it's in Washington, D.C. or New York or the West Coast or Middle America. The difference is getting to know and enjoy and have a passion for serving the clientele that is specific to that area. So, for example, up here in the Adirondack Park of New York State, we have a lot of tourists who come up here during the summertime to go hiking and during the winter to go skiing, and just lake life in general during the summer as well. So being able to serve those people who come up here for a family reunion by doing family photography, or who come up here for a destination wedding by providing them with a wedding film, or companies who operate in this remote, vast wilderness that's beautiful, and being able to help them with their messaging and get that message out to the larger world. Those are some of the specific people that we get to serve here in upstate New York. Whereas in Washington, D.C., some of the clientele might be different. Again, photography is that contact zone where there's the art of making a photograph, but it has a contact with so many other aspects of life and different types of clientele. So in Washington, D.C., I could see more partnership with different philanthropic groups and organizations who tend to headquarter in the Washington, D.C. area, and providing services even to people in the world of politics. And I know Washington, D.C. can be a very popular place to have a wedding, or at the very least to have some sort of engagement or photo session related to getting engaged or being married. That's popular. So it all comes down to understanding the clientele within that particular area and finding out how to serve their needs and help them get where they want to go, whether it be with photography, video, or something else.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Just to hear that how both would be different because Washington D.C. there's more stuff about politics, but Adirondacks everything I would think I don't live there, but I would think it'd be more laid back because it's more of a tourist destination. What other types of jobs have you done in the time of COVID?
So in COVID, we've helped the school, as I mentioned, but we're also doing a lot more in the live event space. So
Huh.
people in the past, clients might have an idea for a project where they want to do a recorded video, and or they might want to do an in-person meeting. That's
Hmm.
even a better example. So we've partnered with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Albany chapter, and every year they have an annual gala event where scores and scores of people get together and celebrate the good work that Make-A-Wish does, and also offer their donations and help and support for the next year of what Make-A-Wish is doing by granting wishes to children who are in some extreme circumstances and have pretty large medical issues that they're working through. So with COVID, the Make-A-Wish Gala wasn't allowed to happen because you couldn't
Huh.
have a certain number of people meet together.
Yeah.
So I worked with their office to pull together all different kinds of video resources and put together a live gala using interviews and having a host. And we even had a band that was able to come in and play some songs as well, but just coordinating the aspects of delivering that as a live video experience rather than an in-person experience
Huh.
was huge. They're a great organization, happy to partner with them, but that's a good example of the ways that COVID has forced us to change as a society, and how someone in the video space, such as myself, can help organizations like Make-A-Wish make that transition.
Awesome. Well, that's cool to see how you are helping really diverse people, from Make a Wish to schools to people getting married to all sorts of stuff. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a new cousin. You have a new son. How is that affecting your work? Is that making it worse? Is that making it better? I'm sure you love your new son. I'm sure I know I love my new cousin. But can you just explain how you're getting around that and doing new stuff, doing the old stuff? How are you doing that?
That's another great question, Jadon. So life is different, right? So Aaron and I worked together, and in our former life, we both worked company corporate jobs, and now having Jack in our life and running the business, the photo video business, it's really a joy and a huge advantage to have flexibility in work hours, and to also have a partner in Aaron who can be there with Jack and caring for him when I'm gone for hours at a time on a shoot, and then come back home and we kind of switch off and trade roles. And I might take Jack for a few hours while she's getting caught up on the things that she needs to do, or just being able to get out of the house and go on a walk or go do some shopping, things like that. I would say it's not really working around Jack as much as it is just incorporating him into the family. And um, every family goes through different phases in life, and for us, the phase now is we're up at all hours of the night and taking care of him. And we catch naps when we can in the mornings or in the afternoons, and we just adjust to working in that environment. Just the other day, I had a client who wanted to meet with me at a particular hour in the morning, and I said, that I'm not able to meet at that time, right? That's a time that usually Jack and I have time together. So we were able to change the time to an hour, just 1 hour difference, to accommodate for that. So it's great working with clients who are flexible, and who just trust me to get the job done the right way and at the right time. And to have that flexibility is huge.
Well, that is really cool. Thank you for your time. That was a great interview. See you guys. Thank you for watching the Jadon Talk Show. Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on, and it's always good to talk with you, Jadon.